Good morning, everybody. Y'all, it's Saturday and it's a work day for me out here in the garden. I haven't really got to do a lot out here, and so I really wanted to come out and plant some stuff and fix some dirt up and all that good stuff. So I thought I would bring you all along with me. But of course, before we do, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, because then you can see more videos like this and know when they're posted. So y'all, it's already getting sunny. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I've been out here for about a half an hour already, just moving some stuff around and getting some buckets and cleaning out my Gorilla card. And I'm working against the sun. It's supposed to be a sunny day today, and I'm probably gonna have to water the garden today because we didn't get any rain yesterday. I can't say yay to that, but okay. All right, so let me show you so far where we're at. So y'all, I wanted to replant some watermelons, and I know it's a little late in the season, but our season is long, so I'm gonna try it anyway. And as Lady Cheryl would say, it can't hurt. You can try it for fun and see if it works. So I didn't want to plant the watermelons in the same buckets again without refreshing the dirt. So I'm actually going to change the buckets that I'm going to use. Well, I'm going to use these fabric pots here, and I've used some of them before and they work really well. I mean, this is the baby. Yeah, I gave the mama away. And he is in a little fabric pot. That's a 5-gallon pot right there. And look how tall he is. He's taller than me, and I am 5'6". Okay. All right. So this is the pots that we're going to be using today. I'll put a link to these, the ones that I use. These are the 7-gallon pots, so they're a little bit bigger, and you'll see what they look like in a few moments. So y'all, I had some 7-gallon bags waiting to be busted open and to be used. So I'm trying to keep containers on hand so when I get ready to plant, I'll have them. I also went to the store and I purchased some mushroom compost because I like using that instead of the black cow. And you can look at some of my past videos and you can see my opinion on that. So y'all, I'm not doing anything spectacular when it comes to refreshing my dirt. I'm taking out some of these old roots. I'm just, mixing in some of the old dirt with some of the new mushroom compost, and that's about it. I did decide to go get some peat moss because I have like a whole big 80-pound bag of peat moss. And so I decided to mix that in as well, just so that the soil will be kind of airy and ready to accept my seeds. But at this point, that's all the girl did, okay? I didn't put any fertilizer or anything in it like that. And one reason why I didn't is because these containers, the water washes through them quickly, and I didn't want, all of my nutrients to drain out before I put my seeds in. So that's all I did to it at this point. So probably when I get ready to put the seeds in, then I'll do a little bit more to the dirt. But for now, this is just perfect. And y'all, this Gorilla cart full of dirt only filled 3 of these 7-gallon containers. Can you believe it? But I used it all. Okay, y'all look at me. I am sweating. Y'all, I'm not really feeling it this morning, but I'm gonna kind of just work through my tired. I just feel tired this morning, but I just want to do some time in the garden because I love it so much. Because y'all, this is what I'm seeing when I'm coming in the garden right now. Isn't that absolutely lovely? We have one head that's spent, but this has multiple heads on it. And I do not know which sunflower this was. So I just have to take my chances when I'm putting the sunflowers in. Okay, back to work. Okay, you all. So this was my aquatic plant. And I actually had a neighbor that came by that confirmed that that was an aquatic plant and that it wasn't going to have any blooms on it. So I went ahead and I took it out. I also went through and did lots of deadheading. So I especially needed to do this with my sunflowers, y'all. I had lots of sunflowers that only have one head on them, and they were kind of spent. They had a ton of powdery mildew, which I know is a big no-no in the garden, but when it rains for 2 weeks straight, there's really not much you can do about that. But I did go through and I cleaned up all of my sunflowers. I gave them a little haircut and a shave and a bath. So they look quite beautiful. Now I can actually admire the sunflowers that are alive. But y'all, I did save the sunflower heads because I'm saving those seeds. So right now I have 1,253,000 sunflower seeds. So what I'm doing here is I'm cleaning up this tomato plant, y'all. I was just going to take off a few leaves. And I lost my mind, and I just kept clipping, and then I would go do something else, and then I would come back, and it was very nasty. It had lots of nasty bits on it, and so I wanted to kind of get rid of those. So I did leave some leaves on there, and I think it will be fine. It only has one tomato, but y'all, my tomato plants have been struggling. They've been on the struggle bus for a while. So you ever go in your garden and you have a few plants and you just say, man, I wish that plant would just die so I won't have to pull it out, because I feel bad when I have to pull my plants out. But sometimes, y'all, I'm like, I wish that plant would just go ahead and kick the bucket. So I had some plants like that, like these tomato plants that I'm taking out. So these are under my dream trellis, and this one that was growing through the top of the trellis, I decided to just go ahead and put it to rest. Basically, it needed a rest. So I pulled those out, and then I started getting rid of all the gnarly bits on this tomato as well, because it still has a baby tomato on it also. But y'all know, I have some more tomato plants growing in the back, so I don't feel bad about taking some of the tomatoes out. And it really kind of refreshed things when I started taking out all the plants. So now I'm doing a smidge of a police call. And if you've ever been in the military, you know what police calling is. Basically, I'm picking up the trash. I'm going through and I'm picking up the trash because I went through and as I was deadheading and taking those gnarly bits off, I just threw them down on the ground, because y'all, that's just the easiest way to do it. I mean, I could have just had my bucket with me to begin with, and this maybe would have been a step that I didn't have to do, but that would have been too easy. That would have been too dang on easy. So now I have to go back and kind of be the garden vacuum cleaner and vacuum up my garden floor, because it's so lovely. I don't want to leave too much stuff down. And then I also got that red bucket there, or red bowl, and I put my sunflower heads in there and anything I wanted to keep. I did do a very, very small harvest of some things that I found, and I just stuck them in that red bowl. And of course, when you think you're finished, you're never finished. So as I was going through, I saw even more weeds that needed to be pulled and things that needed to be deadheaded, and y'all know the rest of the story on that. So y'all, I've been saying that I needed to weed back here where my bell peppers are since the beginning of time. And finally, I went back there and did it. I was kind of really tired at this point, but I really wanted to go ahead and get it done. And y'all, those zinnias. My zinnias were like all over the place, but I just left them the way they were. I deadheaded a few. I took off some of the nastiness, but I didn't mess with them too much. And of course, they had some trees growing inside of them. And I have to say, what plant in my garden didn't have a tree growing in it? I don't know where all those tree seeds came from, but I don't know if the birds brought them or the squirrels, but it was just a hot mess. And I finally got to deadheading my black-eyed Susans, y'all. They had a lot of dead, well, not plants, but dead flowers in there. And I'll tell you, this pot looks so much better after I did this. I'm so glad I took the time to go ahead and just get out all the garbage. Don't y'all agree? That looks so much better. Now I'm just putting my pots for my watermelons back by the trellis. They don't have the seeds in them just yet. I didn't want to put the seeds in before I moved the pots because then the seeds would have shifted. So it was better to put the pots back here first, and then I'll put the seeds back in later. Y'all, this is the friendly garden. This is the before. Y'all, look at all those weeds. You can't even tell what's supposed to be in there, can you? And my poor kale. My kale was just ate up by leaf miners. This is the after. Now you can see what was supposed to be in there. This is what I'm looking at when I come into the garden. And the fuzzy bees have been chasing me all morning, but I'm finally finished. So y'all, I moved a lot of stuff around. This was all the way in the back, kind of hidden behind the tomatoes. And this is my cosmos. Yay! Y'all, I'm proud of myself. I tried to plant one of these last year and it didn't come up. And this one is looking quite nice. I don't know if this is looking the way it's supposed to, because y'all know how my plants look. And I moved up a few other things. Some things I still haven't gotten to, but that's okay. Y'all, here's some of the vining black-eyed Susans, if you all are curious as to what they look like. They're going all the way up the trellis, and we have some peeking out. Yeah, I was watering and I just had to stop. Y'all, look at these zinnias. I tried to clean things up a bit here, but I didn't mess with the zinnias too much because y'all, they are just like growing wild and looking beautiful. Now look at my foxglove. I don't expect any blooms this year, but they're growing nice and healthy. So in the fall, I think I'm going to transplant them to another location. Y'all, I got some harvesting to do. Now look at my carnation-ish marigolds. Aren't they beautiful? Look how big they are. This is probably like the perfect spot. Y'all, we did some cleanup over here on the black-eyed Susan. I still miss some. I deadheaded a lot. And y'all, I like the way they're growing. They're like falling all over the place. And y'all, look at this. These finally bloomed. And again, I'll put on the screen what these are. But yay, they're looking beautiful too. The future location for my watermelons that I still didn't get a chance to plant, but I'll probably come back out later on today and do that. Y'all, I had to get the vermicious canids off of this strawberry plant. For some reason, they love this plant. Now look at the sunflower. We're looking eye to eye. That's how tall it is. Bee balm in the house. Y'all, this is bee balm. It's also, doesn't it look like some jewels? It's getting ready to bloom. Now, I finally took that echinacea out. That wasn't echinacea. One of the viewers told me it was an American nightshade, and I looked it up and I took it out. So hopefully the real echinacea will please stand up. Y'all, that's the new loofah, baby. Yeah, I'm back in my almost cool garage for the moment. I was supposed to be taking Boss Baby to the farmer's market today, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I still have to pick her up because I told her I was coming to get her. So I did a few things out in the garden. I didn't plant any seeds yet for today, but I did a lot of weeding. And y'all, it's been 2 days since it rained, which is fine. And I feel like after it rains for a while, it's like your garden has like a new life, because the plants really love the rain. And also, when I got in there and I took a lot of things out and I did a lot of weeding, got rid of some old plants and stuff, it felt like the beginning of a season again. So you have to kind of think of it that way. I kept things probably longer than I should have. But I'm okay with that too. And so y'all know another garden tour is going to be coming up very soon. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. So you'll see the garden tour, and give this video a thumbs up. And we still got planting to do, but for now, I'm going to do a smidge of cleanup and go get my little grandbaby so we can have some fun today. So I will talk to you all later. Bye.